There is a specific number in finance that acts like a gravitational field. If you are below this number, life is miserable. You are constantly pulled back into debt, stress, and panic. Every time you try to jump, the gravity of being broke smashes you back down. But if you can cross this number, if you can break through this specific barrier, gravity flips. Suddenly, the money starts pulling you up. You stop working for money, and money starts working for you. That number is $100,000. Charlie Munger, the billionaire partner of Warren Buffett, famously said, "The first 100,000 is AB*TCH, but you gotta do it. I don't care what you have to do. If it means walking everywhere and not eating anything that wasn't purchased with a coupon, find a way to get your hands on that first 100,000. Why? Because statistically, 75% of people will never reach a net worth of $100,000 in liquid assets. They will work for 40 years, trade their life for a paycheck, and die with less money than they started with. Today, we are going to use psychology, math, and brutal honesty to find out why. We are going to expose the invisible ceiling that keeps the middle class trapped. We are going to look at the dopamine loop that forces you to stay poor. And I am going to show you the mathematical proof that once you hit $100,000, the game gets rigged in your favor. You are currently fighting a war you don't understand. Let's change that. Most people fail to hit $100,000 not because they are stupid and not because they don't make enough money. They fail because of a psychological phenomenon called the Valley of Disappointment. Here is the math nobody tells you. Let's say you save $10,000 a year. That is hard. That requires discipline. In year one, you have $10,000. Your investment return might be $700. You look at that $700 and think, I sacrificed pizza and beer for an entire year. For $700? This sucks. In year two, you have $21,000. Your return is maybe $1,500. In year three, you are still grinding. You are tired. You want a new car. You want to go to Cabo. But your portfolio is barely moving. This is where 90% of people quit. They look at the mountain, and it looks too high. They don't realize that wealth building is not linear. It is exponential. The first 100,000 takes the longest. It typically takes 7 to 8 years for the average investor to save their first 100 grand. But the second 100 grand? It only takes 5 years. The third 100 grand? 3 years. By the time you have 600,000, you are making another 100 grand every 2 years without adding a penny. But because human brains are wired for linear progress, we think, I work 1 hour, I get paid for 1 hour. We cannot comprehend exponential growth. We quit right before the curve shoots up. We are going to fix your brain today so you don't quit. But first, we have to identify the traps that are actively stealing your progress. The biggest enemy of your first 100 grand is not the economy. It is your ego. We live in a status economy. Evolution wired us to care about status because in the Stone Age, if you had low status, the tribe kicked you out and a saber-toothed tiger ate you. Today, having low status just means you drive a 2015 Honda Civic instead of a 2026 BMW. But your lizard brain thinks you are going to die. So what do? You participate in signaling. You graduate college, you get a job paying $60,000, and immediately, you finance a car for $500 a month. You rent a nice apartment for $2,000. You buy the new iPhone. You look rich. You smell rich. But mathematically, you are a walking corpse. This is called lifestyle creep, but I call it the fake rich algorithm. Every time your income goes up, your brain automatically adjusts your spending to match it. If you make $50,000, you spend $50,000. If you make $100,000, you spend $100,000. You are running on a treadmill. You are sweating. You are exhausted, but you are not moving forward. To hit your first 100,000, you must become invisible. You must embrace being the gray man. The gray man drives a car that is paid off. The gray man wears t-shirts that don't have logos. The gray man cooks at home. To the outside world, the gray man looks broke. But in his brokerage account, he is building a nuclear weapon. You have to choose. Do you want to look rich for strangers at a stoplight, or do you want to actually be rich? You cannot do both until you cross the finish line. Now, let's talk about the math of why debt destroys your first 100 grand. It is called negative compounding. Albert Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. He said, "He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it." Most of America pays it. If you have a credit card balance of $5,000 at 20% interest, you are effectively paying the bank a tax on your existence. Every dollar you send to Visa is a dollar that could have been an employee working for you. Here is the brutal reality. You cannot out-invest bad debt. If the stock market returns 8% per year on a good year, and your credit card charges you 20%, you are mathematically guaranteed to lose. It is like trying to fill a bucket with water, but someone shot a hole in the bottom with a shotgun. Before you even think about the S&P 500, before you think about dividends, you must kill the debt. You have to treat high-interest debt like a physical emergency. Treat it like your hair is on fire. You don't go out to dinner when your hair is on fire. You don't buy new shoes when your hair is on fire. You put the fire out. Once the debt is gone, you remove the anchor. Now, when you swim, you actually move forward. But why do we buy things we don't need in the first place? It's not because we are stupid. It's because of dopamine. Dopamine is the anticipation molecule. When you see a pair of shoes online, your brain releases dopamine. It says, if you buy those shoes, you will be happy. People will respect you. You will finally be cool. So you click buy. The package arrives. You open it. You get a spike of pleasure. And then, 3 hours later, it's gone. This is called hedonic adaptation. Humans return to a baseline level of happiness incredibly fast. The new car smells amazing for 2 weeks. After 2 months, it's just a car with a monthly payment that stresses you out. The corporations know this. They have teams of neuroscientists designing ads to hijack your dopamine receptors. They want you to feel insecure so you buy their product to fix a problem you didn't know you had. To hit $100,000, you have to hack your own dopamine. You have to switch your addiction. Instead of getting dopamine from spending, you need to get dopamine from growing. You need to become addicted to the net worth number. Every time you transfer $500 to your investment account, that is a win. Every time you check your app and see the number go up, that is a hit. Gamify the process. If you don't enjoy the process of saving, you will never sustain it for the 7 years it takes to hit the goal. Now, let's look at the beautiful light at the end of the tunnel. Why is $100,000 the magic number? Why did Charlie Munger obsess over it? Because at 100 grand, your money starts to earn a second salary. Let's assume a conservative 8% return. If you have $10,000 invested, you earn $800 a year. That's a nice dinner. It changes nothing. But at $100,000 invested, you earn $8,000 a year. That is $666 a month. That is a car payment. That is groceries for a family. That is real, tangible freedom. But here's the crazy part. Let's say you save $10,000 a year. To get from 0 to 100,000 takes about 7.8 years. But to get from 100,000 to 200,000, you still save the same 10,000. But now, your 100 grand is earning 8,000. So effectively, you are saving 18,000 a year. It only takes 5.1 years. To get from 200,000 to 300,000, your money is earning 16,000. You save 10,000. Total saving is 26,000. It takes 3.7 years. Do you see what is happening? The machine is taking over. By the time you hit 100,000, you have built the engine. You have survived the hardest part of the launch. You have escaped gravity. This is why the rich get richer. It's not a conspiracy. It's math. Once you have the capital base, the capital does the heavy lifting. Your only job in your 20s and 30s, is to get to that first 100,000. If you have to work 2 jobs, do it. If you have to live with your parents, do it. If you have to drive a rust bucket that smells like wet dog, do it. Because once you cross that line, you are safe. You have options. You have FU money. So, how do we join the top 25%? How do we stop being the statistic? Here is the 3-step protocol. Step 1, the audit. Tonight, open your bank statement. Look at the last 30 days. Highlight every single thing that didn't keep you alive or make you money. Be ruthless. That subscription you forgot about? Cancel it. That $15 salad? Make it at home for $3. Find the leak. There is always a leak. Step 2, the gap. Your wealth is simply the gap between your income and your expenses. Most people try to widen the gap by penny pinching. That works to a point. But you cannot save your way to $100,000 if you make $30,000 a year. You need to play offense. You need to increase your income. Ask for a raise. Job hop. Start a side hustle. Drive Uber on weekends. Take every single extra dollar from that new income and throw it at the $100,000 goal. Do not inflate your lifestyle. Step 3. The automation. Willpower is a finite resource. You will get tired. You will want to buy shoes. Remove the choice. Set up an automatic transfer on payday. The money leaves your checking account and hits your brokerage account before you even wake up. If you don't see it, you can't spend it. Force yourself to be poor so you can become rich. Reaching $100,000 is hard. It is supposed to be hard. If it were easy, everyone would be wealthy and inflation would be 500%. The system filters out the weak. It filters out the people who need instant gratification. But you are not the 75%. You are the 25%. You are the one who is willing to eat rice and beans today so you can eat lobster tomorrow. The first 100,000 is AB*TCH. Go get it. And here's the best part. Once you cross that line, you don't have to wait 40 years to be free. You can actually speed up the clock. I broke down the exact math on how to compress your entire career and retire in just 5 years in this video right here. It sounds impossible, but the numbers don't lie. Click here to see the 5-year escape plan. I'll see you there.